Welcome everybody, welcome to the first annual Silicon Valley Business App Awards. My name is Nick Pinkerton, and as you can probably tell by my lack of facial hygiene, this is the No Shave November edition of the SVBAs. We brought you here to recognize some of the most outstanding business-to-business applications of this year and to really commemorate what the developer community is doing for the B2B ecosystem. We're thrilled to have received, I think, over 60 submissions from businesses, most of whom are based here in Silicon Valley, but in other places as well. People who have traveled, far and wide just to be here today. So we thank you. We're also very fortunate to have this wonderful group of leaders here to my left, our panel of judges, and I will go ahead and introduce them one by one as they judge me on my terrible pronunciation of their names. We'll begin with CEO and President of Ricoh, Dr. Nikhil Balaram. Stand up, say hello. Yeah. Director at IHS, Vinita Jakanwal. EVP of Products at Regalix, Greg Sherwin. Group Manager of QuickBooks Web and Mobile at Intuit, Amanda Linden. President of Griot, Douglas Kadlicek. I got it. And Senior Director of Worldwide Business at Synopsys, Rajiv Maheshwari. We also wanted to recognize Baksar Roy of Playphone, who unfortunately couldn't make it. He had the flu, but we wanted to give him a shout out, as well as Sean McCleary representing DocuSign. All right, I will just quickly bring you up to speed with our event for the afternoon. So we've selected a group of particularly outstanding apps that will, companies who have developed these outstanding apps that will present today in front of us, so you'll get to see what those apps do, what some of those features are, and what some of the challenges and discoveries came along the way. So we'll be dividing this into a couple of presentation groups. There will be a 20-minute intermission between the first and second group, where, if you're in the audience, you can go ahead and get up and get food and drink and whatever. And then once all of our presentations are done, there will be a 30-minute period where our judges will determine who the best, who would, is the best company out there with the best app, so the killer app. During this time, during the presentations, we ask that you stay in your seats and remain completely silent because we don't want to hear from you. That's just me talking about your phones, by the way, so just remember to put them on silent unless you're really that important. The best part about today is that you, the audience, will be determining one of our award recipients. You'll notice that we've passed out these little sheets that have all the nominees from today, and that's where you'll indicate who you think is the most deserving of the best overall app. Right before we begin our presentations for the best overall app, we'd like to learn a little bit more about how these wonderful companies and their apps were selected in the first place, and what some of the judging guidelines were in terms of selecting some of the winners that we'll see today. So to tell us more about that, I'd like to welcome to the stage someone who has been in an engineering and product engineering role for most of his time here in Silicon Valley. Currently at Regalix, he is our co-innovation leader. He was president of LearnStreet, helping launch that. LearnStreet is an online coding language program. And now he dedicates his time as the resident coffee snob. Please welcome Greg Sherwin.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, so having 60 submissions, I really, we all relied on a great judging crew here, and I can't thank them enough volunteering their time and their professionalism. We had the 5 key categories with business utility and productivity, management, I'm going to miss one, social business and finance. Thank you. Some of the submissions we had were pretty manageable. So what we did is we ended up breaking down to sort of 3 teams of judges, 3 apiece. And some of the smaller submission categories, which had as many as maybe a handful as opposed to some of the bigger categories that had more than 20 submissions, we would allow one of the sub-teams to kind of review, analyze things that we had score sheets for, which included things like, thank you, user experience or the impact of results, every submission came with a questionnaire that we had different criteria about why it was successful in that category, how it made maybe an impact in the market. And some of the larger categories, like particularly business utility and productivity, we ended up kind of teaming up. So every judge judged over 20 different submissions, and it's the natural system. We all made it work. So we actually were able to collaborate without actually reviewing all of 60 submissions, each of us. So I think, again, the jury for it, we're actually following a similar model, just with the addition of the presentations that you're about to see as part of how we're going to determine the overall finalists. Once again, thanks again for the jury for their dedication in making this all work. So, thank you.
Okay, I think we're ready to begin with the presentations. If you're coming up here and presenting, you will have a 5-minute period for that. And then when there's about 1 minute left in your presentation time, Shivani at the back there, Shivani, raise your hand. She'll just hold up a hand and just let you know you have 1 minute left. So we'll have a couple of presentations, give out a couple of awards, and then we'll follow that with an intermission. So our first presenter for today, representing the app DocuSign Inc. Please welcome Megan Lew from DocuSign.
Hello. Hope my walk up here doesn't go into my 5 minutes, but thank you for joining me. I'm the manager of mobile marketing at DocuSign, and wanted to briefly go over just an introduction to who we are, what the challenges were, what our solution is, and some of our success. So I think it was a great lead-in in the previous presentation, true mobility, from being able to do anything, anywhere at any time. That's really DocuSign's focus as well. We're a SaaS platform that enables anyone to sign documents, send documents out for signature, and store those documents in a centralized location. The DocuSign app allows you to sign anything, anywhere, at any time, on any device. We have over 40 million DocuSigners who have signed more than 290 million documents. These documents have been signed in over 188 countries. And the capability of being able to do this at any time, we've seen that 51% of our documents are signed in less than an hour. You can not only do this from our mobile applications, but also through our web app, so from a computer or laptop. So what are some of the challenges in the market of being able, or a paper signature? We see this as there's a lot of time and money that goes into getting the document signed. Everything from paper costs to ink costs to faxing to overnight shipping. The time, the staff required in order to do that. Some people have to drive places, actual travel costs, and just man hours. So once you've got a signed document back, how do you then scan that and digitalize that and file it? There's a lot that goes into that. And just the length of time. I don't know who in this room has been at the end of a quarter and needed the contract signed, and you've heard those words of, it's signed, but I'm not near a scanner to get it back to you, and you're down to the wire. So there's those cases in a lot of different industries. One, the DocuSign, a big industry for DocuSign is real estate, and anyone that's tried to buy a house here in the Bay Area, that could be, a 5-minute, you're down to the wire and need to sign the document in 5 minutes, your wife needs to sign it, your husband needs to sign it, you're in different locations, how do you make that happen? Just the security in general, a lot of people have questions about e-signature security, and with that, the thing I always throw back is when you print something out, you mail it across the country for someone to sign it, you don't know where it went, you don't know who picked up that package, they sign it, they send it back, there's no trace of what happened, there's no audit trail, so that can be cumbersome in a court of law. And then just proximity, where people are. We're an international business operations now.